Dinesh sent me that on the orphanage சாப்பாடு கொடுத்த கடங்கள் he sent me that from for Shanti's birth anniversary. He went in person and he supervised and gave the food and also he took a few pictures and sent me. Yeah. He is good to us. Okay. Okay, bye. Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Sasivaranam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vighnopaşantade Yasya Viratavatrajya Parishadya Parashtatham Vignam Jagatam Vishwaksenam Damastrayet Nate Sakala Kalyana Bhajanam Yatra Jayate Purushastamayam Nityam Raja Visharanam Harim Sarvadha Sarvakaryeshu Nasti Desham Mangalam Nisham Prajisto Bhagavan Mangalaya Tano Harihi Labhastesham Jayastesham Kutastesham Parabhavaha Yesham Jivarasyamu Hridayasto Janardhanaha आपदामपहर्तारं धातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् ॐ श्रीलक्ष्मीनारायणाभ्यां नमः श्रीसीतारामाभ्यां नमः रमादेवी सहित सत्यनारायण स्वामी परब्रह्मणे नमः उमामहेश्वराभ्यां नमः वाणी हिरण्यगर्भाभ्यां नमः आदित्यादिनवग्रहदेवताभ्यो नमो नमः सर्वेभ्यो श्रीमहाविष्णुमहादेव पार्श्वतेभ्यो नमो नमः अयं मुहूर्तः श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी पूजा मुहूर्त शुभ मुहूर्तो अस्तु ओम अशेषेः हे परिषद भवत्पादमूलेत मया समर्पितां इमां सौवर्णीं यत्किञ्चित् यथोक्त दक्षिणामिव स्वीकृत्य अत्रोपविष्टानां एतेषां भगवद्भागवत आचार्य दिव्य सन्निधौ विज्ञापनं मया क्रियते क्रियमाणं विज्ञापनम् अवधानेन श्रूयताम् अस्य देवदेवस्य भगवतो नारायणस्य श्रीमदखिलाण्डकोटिब्रह्माण्डनायकस्य श्रियः पते पुरुषोत्तमस्य आदिमध्यान्तरहितस्य अर्चावतारस्वरूपस्य अखिलहेयप्रत्यनीक कल्याणगुणगणैकधानस्य अपारकारुण्यसौशील्य वात्सल्य औदार्य सौन्दर्य महोदधे जगत्कुटुम्बिनः जगद्रक्षणार्थं लीलया अवतीर्णस्य श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी परब्रह्मणे नमः पूजा कर्तुमनुज्ञां विज्ञाप्य ॐ देवदेव जगन्नाथ जगदानन्दकारक श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी पूजा प्रवर्तोऽहम् अनुज्ञां देहि मे प्रभो। जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। आचार्यः हस्तौ प्रक्षाल्य ओम मंगलम भगवान विष्णुः मंगलम मधुसूदन मंगलम पुंडरीका वैप्योर्भूत मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष ड्रिंक मंगलाय तनो हरिः अच्युताय नमः अनंताय नमः गोविंदाय नमः। आचम्य हस्तौ प्रक्षाल्य ओम आचार्यः संहितया प्राणानायम्य
We can hold it like this and repeat. Om Sri Govinda Govinda Govindaha Mahavishnu Mahadeva Agnyaya Pravartha Manasya Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararthe Shveta Varaha Kalpe Vaivasvata Manvantare Kaliyuge Prathame Pade Krauncha Dvipe Ramanaka Varshe Aindra Khande Vartamana Vyavaha Harika Prabhava Adi Samvatsara Madhye Shobhakrit Nama Samvatsare Dakshina Ayane Grishma Ruto Ashadha Mase Asmin Shuklapakshe Paurnamyam Shubhatitho Vasaraha Ravivasara Yuktayam Shubhayoga Shubhakarana Evam Guna Visheshana Visishtaya Asyam Shubhatito Bhagavat Agnyaya Bhagavat Kainkarya Rupam Sathyanarayana Priti Artham Adhya Paurnamasya Shubhatitho Sri Sathyanarayana Divya Vrata Pujam Karishye. Your Gotra names. Koshal Gotrodbhavasya Lalita Kumar Namadheyasya Ketan Handa Namyaha Angela Handa Namadheyasya Shivam Handa Namadheyasya Sani Ratan Namyaha Monika Ratan Namadheyasya Aryan Ratan Namadheyasya Niyam Ratan Namadheyasya Saha Kutumbhanam Kshemasthirya Dhairya Virya Vijaya Abhaja Ajuhu Arogya Ashtaiswaryanam Abhivrudyartam Dharmarthakamya Moksha Chaturvidhanam Phalapurushartha Siddhyartham Ishtakamyartha Siddhyartham Dhanakanaka Vastuvahana Vyapara Abhivrudyata Siddhyartham Adhyatmika Adidevika Adibhautika Tapatraya Nivaranata Siddhyartham Sarvabhishta Manobhishta Prarthana Phala Siddhyartham Samasta Sanmangala Avaptavataha Siddhyartham Sankalpita Vidhanena Cha Sri Sathyanarayana Swami Divyavrata Pujam Chakarishye Tathado Indradi Ashtadik Palaka Navagraha Panchaloka Palaka Mandapa Aradhana Vishesha Kalasha Sathyanarayana Swami Panchamrita Abhisheka Pujam Chakarishye Sakala Puja Nirvignata Parishamapti Siddhyartham Prathamataha Sri Mahaghanapati Pujam Chakarishye. Do it like this. Apavupaha Sprushya, do it like this. Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Idam Asanam Samarpajami. Patreshu Srim Shriyai Namaha. Argyam Parikalpajami. Gangajai Namaha. Padyam Parikalpajami. Saraswatyai Namaha. Achamanam Parikalpajami. Varunajai Namaha. Snaniyam Parikalpajami. Shantyai Namaha. Shuddhotakam Parikalpajami. Om Soshana Dahana Plavanani Krutva Surabhimudranamarti Kritya Vaikunthe Vrajanadim Agachagachagachet Avahajami. Om Apaditra Paditrova Sarvavathan Tato Viva Hare Sundharika Samsabahyaha Abhyantaraschuchihi. Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. इदम् आसनार्धमक्षतान् समर्पयामि परमधामावस्थित मदनुग्रहकां यय उद्धतावतारैहाभिमत मन्त्रसिद्धितमन्त्रशरीरो नमो नमः। ये हि भगवान् महागणपतये नमः। आगच्छ 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 आगच्छेत्। आवाहयामि प्रणाम स्वागत प्रतिम सन्निधि सन्निरोध सामुख्य मुद्रान् प्रदर्शयित्वा हृदयाय नमः शिरसे स्वाहा शिखायै वौषड कवचाय हुं नेत्राभ्यां वौषड हस्त्राय फट् महागणपतिं ध्यात्वा ॐ सुर गणपति सुंदर केशं ऋषि गणपति यज्ञ समानं भव गणपति पद्मशरीरं जय जय गणपति दिव्य नमस्ते मूषिकवाहन मोदकहस्त चामरकर्ण विलंबित सूत्र वामन रूप महेश्वर पुत्र विघ्न विनायक पाद नमस्ते विघ्न विनायक पाद नमस्ते। महागणपतिं ध्यानं समर्पयामि पादयो पाद्यं समर्पयामि हस्तयो अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि शुद्धागमनं समर्पयामि ॐ स्नपयामि स्नानानन्तरं शुद्धागमनीयं समर्पयामि वस्त्रयुग्मार्थं ऊर्ध्वपुण्ड्रार्थं यज्ञोपवीतार्थमक्षतां समर्पयामि गन्धद्वारान्दुराधर्षान् नित्यबुद्धान् करीष्ये ईश्वरीकुं सर्वभूतानां त्वामिहोपह्वये श्रियम्। ॐ महागणपतये नमः। पुष्पैः पूजयामि सुमुखाय नमः प्रमुखाय नमः एकदन्ताय नमः कपिलाय नमः ॐ गजकर्णिकाय नमः ॐ लम्बोदराय नमः ॐ बालचन्द्राय नमः ॐ भविष्यचतुराननाय नमः ॐ हेरम्भाय नमः ॐ स्कन्धपूर्वजाय नमः ॐ गजाननाय नमः ॐ गणाध्यक्षाय नमः ॐ स्कन्धपूर्वजाय नमः सिद्धिगणपतये नमः बुद्धिगणपतये नमः संतानगणपतये नमः सौभाग्यगणपतये नमः लक्ष्मीगणपतये नमः सिद्धिबुद्धिनायिका समेत श्रीमन् महागणपतये नमो नमः। नानाविध परिमल पत्र पुष्पाक्षत पूजार्चनानि समर्पयामि। ॐ श्री महागणपतये नमः। धूपम् आग्रापयामि। ॐ वनस्पत्युद्भवेद्भिर्यैः नानागन्धैषु संयुतः आग्रेयः सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। धूपमाग्रापयामि साक्षात् प्रत्यक्षदीपं दर्शयामि धूपदीपानान्तरं शुद्धाचमनीयं समर्पयामि सम्भवितफलोदकान् निवेदयामि शोषणदाहनप्लावनानि कृत्वा सुरभिमुद्रान् अमृतीकृत्य ॐ नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्नविनाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीमन्वरदमूर्तये नमो नमः। श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। आनन्दमङ्गलनीराञ्जनदीपं सन्दर्शयामि। जय बोलो गणेश महाराज की जय। ओम धाता धातॄणां भुवनस्य यस्पतिर्देवगुं सवितार अभिमाति साहं निमं यज्ञमश्विनो भाः बृहस्पतिर्देवा पान्तु यजमानन्यर्धात् महागणपतये नमः। वेदोक्तस्वर्णमन्त्रपुष्पं समर्पयामि महागणपतये नमः। सुप्रीतः सुप्रसन्नाः वरदा भवन्तु। आचार्यः संहितया प्राणानायम्य पूर्वोक्तसङ्कल्पितविधानेन च श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी व्रतपूजां गत्वेन महागणपतिपूजानन्तरम् इंद्रादि अष्टदिक्पालक नवग्रह पंचलोकपालक मंडप आराधनं च करिष्ये। ओम इंद्रं वो विश्वतस्परिहवामहे जनेभ्यः अस्माकमस्तु केवलः। सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं पूर्वदिग्भागे इंद्रं दिक्पालकम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम अग्निं धूतं वृणीमहे होतारं विश्ववेदशम् अस्य यज्ञस्य सुकृतं सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतम् अग्निं दिक्पालकमावाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम यमाय सोमगुं सुनुत यमाय जुहुता हविः यमगुं हयज्ञो गच्छत्यग्निदूतो अरं कृतः सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतं यमं दिक्पालकमावाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम मोषणः परा नैरुतिर्दुर्हना आवदीत् पतिष्ठतृष्णया सह सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतं सांगं अतिदेवता प्रत्यधिदेवताय नैऋतिं दिक्पालकम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। इमं मे वरुणस्रुते हवमध्या च मृडयः त्वामवस्युराचके तत्त्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानः सधा सा आस्ते यजमानो हविर्भिः सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतं वरुणं दिक्पालकम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम तव वायुमृतस्पते त्वष्टुर्जामातरद्भुता अपां श्यां वृणीमहे सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतं वायव्यं दिक्पालकमावाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम सोमो धेनगुं सोमो अर्वन्तमाशुं सोमो वीरं कर्मण्यं दधातु साधन्यं विदध्यगुं सभेयं पितुश्रवणं यो दधासु तस्मै सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतं कुबेरं दिक्पालकमावाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदाशिवो सांघं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतं ईशानं दिक्पालकम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम सूर्यारिष्ठेतु सम्प्राप्ते सूर्यपूजां च कारयेत् सूर्यध्यानं प्रवक्ष्यामि आत्मपीडोपशान्तये आसक्तेन रजसा वर्धमानो निवेशयन्नमृतं मर्त्यं च हिरण्यजेन सविधारतेन देवो याति भुवना विपश्यन् सूर्यग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ओम आप्यायस्व समेधुते विश्वतः सोमवृष्णियं भवावाजस्य संगते सांगं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतं नवग्रहमण्डपेत् आग्नेयदिग्भागे अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित चन्द्रग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ अग्निर्मूर्तादिवः ककुत्पतिपृथिव्या अयम् अपागुं रेतागुं सिजन्वति साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहिताय कुजग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ उद्बुद्ध्य स्वाग्ने प्रतिजागृह्येण मिष्ठापूर्ते सगुं सृजेधामयं च पुनगृह्ण्वगुं स्वापितरं युवानमन्वातागुं सीत्वयि तन्तुमेतं साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित बुधग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ बृहस्पते अतियतर्यो अर्हा आच्युमद्विभाति क्रतुमज्जनेषु यद्धीतयश्च वसर्त प्रजात तथस्मासु द्रविनन्देहि चित्रम् साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित बृहस्पतिग्रहम् गुरुग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ प्रभः शुक्राय भानवे भरद्वगुं हव्यं मतिं चाग्नये सुपूतम् यो दैव्यानि मानुषाचनो गुस्यन्तर्विद्मानि विद्मना जिगाति साङ्घं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित शुक्रग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ शन्नो देवीरभीष्टाय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शम्योरभिश्रावन्तु नः शमग्निरग्निभिष्करश्चन्नः स्तपतु सूर्यः संवातो त्वरपा अपसृतः साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्रपरिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहितशनैश्चरग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ कयानश्चित्र आभुवधूतिः सधा वृधः सखा कयासु तिष्ठया वृधा साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित राहुग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ केतुं घृण्वन्न केतवे पेशो मर्या अपेशशे समुषद्भिरजायता साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतम् अतिदेवता प्रत्यतिदेवता सहित केतुग्रहम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। आवाहनाति इन्द्रादि अष्टदिक्पालक नवग्रह देवताभ्यो नमः स्थिरो भव। ॐ घनानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमस्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः श्रीदशातनं प्रथमलोकपालकम् गणपतिं ध्यायामि। ब्रह्मजज्ञानं प्रथमं पुरस्ताद्विषीमतः सुरुचो वेन आवह सबुध्निया उपमा अस्य विष्ठा सधश्च योनिमसधश्च विवह साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतं द्वितीयलोकपालकं ब्रह्मम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि। ॐ इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधानि च ते पदं समूढमस्य पागुं सुरे साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्तिपुत्र परिवारसमेतं तृतीयलोकपालकं महाविष्णुं ध्यानं समर्पयामि। ॐ कद्रुद्राय प्रचेदसे मीढुष्टमाय तव्यसे वोचे महन्तमगुं हृते साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्नीपुत्र परिवारसमेतं नवग्रहमण्डपे चतुर्थलोकपालकं रुद्रम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि गौरीमिमाय सलिलाय एकपदी द्विपदीशा चतुष्पदी अष्टापदी नवपदी बभूवा अक्षरा परमे व्योमन् साङ्गं सायुधं सवाहनं सशक्नीपुत्र परिवारसमेतं पञ्चमलोकपालकं गौरीम् आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि पञ्चलोकपालकदेवताभ्यो नमः स्थिरो भव। ॐ श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी विशेष कलश पूजां च करिष्ये। ॐ आधारशक्तये नमः। ॐ कूर्मकालाग्निये नमः। ॐ अनन्ताय नमः। ॐ धरण्ये नमः। ॐ धर्माय नमः। ॐ ज्ञानाय नमः। ॐ वैराग्याय नमः। ॐ ऐश्वर्याय नमः। ॐ ऋग्वेदाय नमः। ॐ यजुर्वेदाय नमः। ॐ सामवेदाय नमः। ॐ अथर्ववेदाय नमः। ॐ भौतिकाहङ्काराय नमः। ॐ तेजसाहङ्काराय नमः। ॐ वैकारिकाहङ्काराय नमः। ॐ सत्त्वगुणाय नमः। ॐ रजोगुणाय नमः। ॐ तमोगुणाय नमः। ॐ तूलिकारूपेभ्यो पृथिवी अप्तेजो वायुराकाशात्मभ्यो नमः। आस्तरणरूपाय जीवात्मने नमः। रां वह्निमण्डलाय नमः। सां सोममण्डलाय नमः। रां सूर्यमण्डलाय नमः। तदुपरि द्वादशदलयुताय कर्णिकाकेसरयुताय अव्यक्तपद्माय नमः। इति पद्मासनं भद्रासनं परिकल्पयित्वा पद्मासनभद्रासनस्योर्ध्वे ॐ परमधामावस्थित मदनुग्रहकाञ्जय उद्यतावतार इहाभिमतमन्त्रसिद्धिकमन्त्रशरीरो नमो नमः। देवी भगवान् भगवती श्रीरमादेवी सहित वीरवेङ्कटसत्यनारायण स्वामी दिव्य परब्रह्मणे नमः। अस्मात् कलशेत् आगच्छेत् आवाहयामि। ॐ प्रणाम स्वागत प्रथिम सन्निधि सन्निरोध सामुख्यमुद्रान् प्रदर्शयित्वा हृदयाय नमः। शिरसे स्वाशिखायै वौषड् कवचाय नेत्राभ्यां वौषड् हस्त्राय फट् किरीट कुण्डल वनमाल श्रीवत्स कौस्तुभ शङ्ख चक्र पद्म गद पादाग्रे गरुडमुद्रान् प्रदर्शयित्वा श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। श्रीरमादेव्यै नमः ध्यायामि। ॐ सशङ्खचक्रं सकिरीटकुण्डलं सपीधवस्त्रं सरसीरुहेक्षणं सहारवक्षस्थलशोभिकौस्तुभं नमामि विष्णुं शिरसा चतुर्भुजम्। मातर्नमामि कमले कमलायताक्षी श्रीविष्णुहृत्कमलवासिनि विश्वमातः। क्षीरोधजे कमलकोमलगर्भगौरी लक्ष्मीं प्रसीद सततं नमतां शरण्ये। श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। श्रीरमादेव्यै नमः ध्यायामि। ध्यानं समर्पयामि। पादयो पाद्यं समर्पयामि। हस्तयो अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि। मुखे शुद्धाचमनं समर्पयामि। आपोहिष्टामयो भुवस्तानभूर्जे दधातनः महेरनाय चक्षते यो वस्यवतमूर्तस्य भाज यदेहनः स्नपजामि। स्नानानन्तरं शुद्धाचमनं समर्पयामि। श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी विशेष पञ्चामृतस्नपन पूजां च करिष्ये। ओम श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। विशेष पंचामृत स्नपन पूजां च करिष्ये। ओम श्री महागणपतये नमः। श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। अभिषेक पीठात् आवाहयामि। सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षसहस्रपात् वृद्ध्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्कुलम् पुरुषदेवेदगुं सर्वम् यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उधामृतत्वशेषानः। Everyone please come one by one and offer 3 times milk to the god. यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो ज्यायागुश्चपूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादोर्ध्वमुदैत् पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः तथो विश्वं व्यक्रामत्। सासना फर्स्ट भगवान विष्णु then गणेश। सासनानसने अभि तस्मात् विराड जायत विराजो अधिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिष्ठता पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वता वसन्तो अस्याशीताज्यम् ग्रीष्मजिद्मः शरद्धविः सप्तास्याशन् परिदयः त्रिसप्तसमिध कृताः देवायत्यज्ञं तन्वानाः अपद्नन् पुरुषं पशुम् तं यज्ञं परिहिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्या ऋषयश्च ये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः ऋचः सामानि जग्निरे छन्दागुंसि जग्निरे तस्मात् यजुस्तस्मादजायत तस्मात्स्वा अजायन्त एकेचोभयाददः गावो हजग्निरे तस्मात् जाता अजावयः it is any milk something, we can put it in the fridge.
Oh, can I just something?
Yeah, you can tell yourself.
Okay.
Sapta asya shantarihayah Trisapta samidha kritaha. Milk tapa milk ayamane. Sapta asya shantarihayah Trisapta samidha kritaha. पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त स्वाध्यारुषयश्चये तस्मात् यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः रजः सामानि जग्निरे छन्दागुं जग्निरे तस्मात् जाता अजावयः यत्पुरुषं जघतुः हरिताव्यकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहु कावूरुपादावुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यः कृतः ऊरुभतस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागुं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्च निश्च प्राणात् वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीत् धन्तरिक्षम् शीर्ष्णोऽध्यो समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्धिशस्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागुम् अगल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहु काभूरु पादावुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यः कृतः ऊरुरथस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागुं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षो सूर्यो अजायताम्। ओम पृथिवी शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिर्द्यौ शान्तिरधिशान्तिरवान्तरपिता शान्तिरग्निशान्तिरापशान्तिरोषधयशान्तिर्वनस्पतयशान्तिर्गो शान्तिरस्वशान्तिरजा शान्तिर्ब्रह्मशान्तिर्ब्राह्मणशान्तिर् शान्तिरेव शान्तिर्शान्तिर्मे अस्तु शान्ति। ओम नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। जी सत्यनारायण के भजन युवा रहे मंच।
सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, सत्यनारायण गोविंद केशवा, 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 सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, साई नारायण गोविंद केशवा, सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, साई नारायण गोविंद केशवा, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, सत्यनारायण गोविंद केशवा, 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 सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, साई नारायण गोविंद केशवा, सत्यनारायण गोविंद माधवा, सत्यनारायण गोविंद केशवा, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे रामा Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sathyanarayana Govinda Madhava, Sathyanarayana Govinda Keshava.
ओम श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। विशेष पंचामृत अभिषेक पूजानन्तरं शुद्धाचमनं समर्पयामि। वस्त्राभूषणार्थं ऊर्ध्वपुण्ड्रार्थं विघ्नोपवीतार्थमक्षतां समर्पयामि। गन्धं समर्पयामि। गन्धस्योपरि कुङ्कुमाचूर्णं समर्पयामि। गन्धद्वारान्धुरादर्शान् ईश्वरीकुं सर्वभूतानां त्वामिहो वहावये श्रियम्। ॐ श्रीमते नमः। ॐ केशवाय नमः। ॐ नारायणाय नमः। ॐ माधवाय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ विष्णवे नमः। ॐ मधुसूदनाय नमः। ॐ त्रिविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ वामनाय नमः। ॐ श्रीधराय नमः। ॐ ऋषिकेशाय नमः। ॐ पद्मनाभाय नमः। ॐ दामोदराय नमः। अथाङ्गपूजां च करिष्ये। ॐ केशवाय नमः। पादौ पूजयामि। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। गुल्पौ पूजयामि। ॐ इन्दिरापतये नमः। जङ्घे पूजयामि। ॐ अनघाय नमः। जानुनी पूजयामि। ॐ जनार्दनाय नमः। ऊरु पूजयामि। ॐ विष्ठरस्रवसे नमः। कठिं पूजयामि। ॐ कुक्षिस्थलाभुवनाय नमः। उदरं पूजयामि। ॐ लक्ष्मीवक्षस्थलाय नमः। वक्षस्थलं पूजयामि। ॐ शङ्खचक्रगदाशार्ङ्गपाणये नमः। बाहून् पूजयामि। ॐ कुम्भकण्ठाय नमः। कण्ठं पूजयामि। ॐ पूर्णेन्दुनिभवक्त्राय नमः। वक्त्रं पूजयामि। ॐ कुन्दकुट्मलदत्ताय नमः। दन्तान् पूजयामि। ॐ नासाग्रमोक्षिताय नमः। नासिकां पूजयामि। ॐ सूर्यचन्द्राग्निलोचनाय नमः। नेत्रे पूजयामि। ॐ सहस्रशिरसे नमः। शिरः पूजयामि। ॐ श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। सर्वान् अङ्गानि पूजयामि। ॐ आदित्ये नमः। ॐ दित्ये नमः। ॐ दीप्तादे नमः। ॐ वसुधादे नमः। ॐ वसुधारिण्ये नमः। ॐ कमलायै नमः। ॐ कान्तायै नमः। ॐ क्षमायै नमः। ॐ क्षीरोदसम्भवायै नमः। ॐ अनुग्रहपरायै नमः। ॐ बुद्धये नमः। ॐ अनघायै नमः। ॐ हरिवल्लभायै नमः। ॐ अशोकायै नमः। ॐ अमृतायै नमः। ॐ दीप्तायै नमः। ॐ लोकशोकविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ नवदुर्गायै नमः। ॐ महाकाल्यै नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मविष्णुशिवात्मिकायै नमः। ॐ त्रिकालज्ञानसम्पन्नायै नमः। ॐ भुवनेश्वर्यै नमः। श्री रमादेव्यै नमः। रमादेवी सहित वीरवेङ्कटसत्यनारायण स्वामी दिव्य परब्रह्मणे नमः। नानाविध परिमल पत्रपुष्प अक्षतानीं समर्पयामि। श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। विशेष धूपमाग्रापयामि। ॐ वनस्पत्युद्भवैर्युगे नानागन्धैस्तु संयुतः आग्नेयः सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। धूपमाग्रापयामि साक्षात् प्रत्यक्षदीपं दर्शयामि धूपदीपानान्तरं शुद्धाचमनं समर्पयामि सम्भवितफलोदकान् निवेदयामि ॐ हिरण्यपात्रं मदो पूर्णं दधाति मथव्योचानीति तदा ब्रह्मणमुपहरति वितदैव यजमान आयुष्येदो दधाति बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान् ॐ अतः श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी व्रतकथा प्रारंभः మీరు అక్షంతలు కొంచెం తీసుకొని అలా పాస్ చేసేయండి అక్షత హరికృష్ణ గారు మీకు పని చెప్తున్నాను
చెప్పండి
మీరేం అనుకోకండి
ఏం పర్లేదు
లేదు వాళ్ళు తీసుకుంటే ఓకే
ఓకే ప్లస్ మీరు చెప్పండి
మీకు ఆల్రెడీ చెప్పాను కదా అందుకే
ఓకే వచ్చినప్పుడు పని ఏదున్నా చెప్పండి మాట లేకుండా
అదే మనం కూర్చోవాలి కథకి ओम स्कांधपुराणे रेवाखांडे सत्यनारायण स्वामी व्रतकथायां प्रथमोऽध्यायः प्रारम्भः प्रथमाध्याय Once upon a time, while traveling the three worlds, Yogiraj Narada Muni reached Mrityulok. He saw the human beings suffering immensely. He visited the abode of Lord Vishnu, who alone can relieve the mankind from the sufferings. There he met the Almighty Lord Vishnu with 4 arms, having Shankachakra Gada Padma wearing Tulasimala on his neck. He started to pray and requested, "O Lord, you are the supreme power. Nothing can touch you, not even wind or mind can get you. Your power is limitless. You know everything. You help your devotees to overcome their sufferings and sorrows." Hearing all the pleadings of Sadhu Narad Muni, the Almighty Supreme Lord, knowing everything, and asked Narada Muni, "O Narad, why have you come to me and what do you want from me? Tell me, I want to hear the same from you." Yogiraj Narada Muni replied, "O Lord, I just went to Mrityulok, where I saw all kinds of human beings suffering in sorrow due to their previous karma. O Lord, the Almighty, is there no way that their sufferings becomes less, or is it possible that they get complete relief from their sufferings? If so, please let us know." The Lord at once replied, "O Narad, you have asked a very good question for the benefit of all humankind. To free mankind from all sufferings and to ultimately reach heaven, there is one vrat, and today I will tell you all about it. Anyone who does Sathyanarayana Swami Katha right away in the way will get all the pleasures on earth and will reach his goal." Yogiraj Narada Muni then asked, "O Lord, has anyone kept this fast before? This vrat is done on which day and how exactly is it done? Please do let us know all the details. Whosoever does Bhagavan Satyanarayanji's Katha with Brahmin, with his full family, full rights, will be relieved of his sufferings and sorrows, will be bestowed with increase in wealth and wisdom, will be blessed with children, get overall victory and increased devotion. For this prayer, one requires ripe bananas, ghee, milk, chori. After the prayers, all must have prasad, then take their meals together. Then sing, praise, chant mantras of Lord Satyanarayan. By doing this, their wishes will be fulfilled. This vrata in Kali Yuga gives the boon very quickly." Satyanarayana Swami Kathayam Pratamodhyayah Om Narayana 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 जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की
जय।
स्कंद पुराणे रेवाखंडे सत्यनारायण स्वामी कथायां द्वितीयोऽध्यायः प्रारम्भः द्वितीय अध्याय. There is 4 more story. Each family can read one story if you want to do.
The Lord said, O Narada, now I will tell you about the first person who did this fast. In a place named Sundar Kashipur, there used to live a very innocent Brahmin. In hunger and thirst, he used to roam for his daily bread. When the loving Lord saw the Brahmin in sorrow and begging daily, he took a disguise of an old Brahmin and asked him, Oh dear, why are you so sad? Please tell me all about your difficulties. Is there any way I could help you out? The Brahmin told the Lord, I'm poor Brahmin and I roam daily for bread. Do you know if there is any way to come out of all these sorrows? The old Brahmin, the Lord, said, Lord Sathyanarayana grants all the wishes of all the people. Dear Brahmin, that's why if you pray to him and keep his fast, you will overcome all your sorrows and moksha. After telling him all the details of the prayer and the fast, the old Brahmin, the Lord, disappeared. The Brahmin could not sleep that night. He kept thinking of the fast and the prayer which the Lord had asked him to do. In the morning, he woke up with the thought that anyhow he must do the prayer and went out for his bhiksha. On that day, the Brahmin got a lot of money from which he bought all the necessary things for the prayer, called his family, and did Lord Sathyanarayana's prayers. By doing so, the Brahmin overcame all his sorrows and became rich. From that time onwards, he used to do the prayers every month without fail. In this way, whoever does Lord Sathyanarayana's prayer will get moksha. Anyone on earth who does this prayer will be relieved from all sorrows. When Narad Muni noticed that the people on earth were eager to know about the other people who kept this fast, he narrated another story. The same Brahmin, now a rich person, used to do the prayer every month without fail with his family. Once he was doing his prayer, a woodcutter passed from there. After keeping the bundle of wood outside the Brahmin's house, he went in for some water. The thirsty woodcutter saw the Brahmin doing his prayers. He bowed down to the Brahmin and asked him, Oh Brahmin, what are you doing? Please tell me all about it. The Brahmin replied, To grant all the wishes of human beings, this fast and prayer is useful. I have acquired all the wealth and fame by doing this prayer of Lord Sathyanarayana ji. After hearing about the prayer and drinking the water, the woodcutter felt happy. He ate the prasad and left for his house. Thinking of Lord Sathyanarayana in his mind, he said, Whatever today I get from selling the wood, I will also do this prayer. So thinking, he kept the bundle of wood on his head and left homewards. On the way home, he went roaming in Sundarnagar for selling the wood. On that day, he got 4 times more money than usual for the wood. Feeling happy, he went and bought all the things necessary for the prayers: ripe bananas, sugar, ghee, wheat flour, and proceeded homewards. On reaching his house and after cleaning it, he called his family and did the prayer with the due respect. The reward of the fast was that he became rich and all the pleasures of life on his earth, and in the end of his life, he went to heaven. This chapter of Lord Sathyanarayana Swamiji is over. All chant Shri Sathyanarayana
Narayan
Ji ki
Swami
jai.
ki jai. Sriman Narayan.
Narayana, 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 Lakshmi Narayana, Narayana, Narayana,
जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की
जय।
स्कांद पुराणे रेवाकांडे सत्यनारायण स्वामी कथायां तृतीयोऽध्यायः प्रारम्भः.
Sadguru Narad said, "O dear people, now let me tell you another story. There was a king named Ulkamuk. He was very wise. He would go daily to the temple and give donations to the Brahmins. His wife was a pious and beautiful lady. At the banks of Madhushala river, one day when they were doing Lord Sri Satyanarayana ji's prayer, a wealthy businessman was passing from there. He anchored his boat and went up to the king and asked him, 'O king, what are you doing with so much bhakti? I wish to know. Please tell me all about it.' The king replied, 'O merchant, I am praying to the great Almighty, the boon giver Lord Satyanarayana ji, for a son.' The merchant, on hearing this, requested the king to tell him all about the fast and prayer, as he was childless too. The king told him the full details of the prayer and fast. After hearing all the details, he decided in his mind to keep this fast. The merchant then left homewards. On reaching home, he told his wife Leelavati all about the fast and prayer and said, 'We will do this fast when we get a child.' One day, with the grace of Lord Satyanarayana ji, his wife became pregnant. In 10 months' time, she gave a birth to a beautiful daughter. They named her Kalavati. Days passed by. One day, Leelavati slowly and sweetly reminded her husband about the prayer and fast and requested him to fulfill his promise. The merchant told his wife that during the time of Kalavati's wedding, it would be easy to observe the same, for at the moment he was busy in his business. So saying, he left for his business trip to various villages. Kalavati grew up to a beautiful girl. When the merchant saw that his daughter was of marriageable age, he called the matchmaker and requested him to search an equal match for his daughter. Hearing the merchant's request, the matchmaker reached Kanchan Nagar. From there, he brought the proposal of a young handsome boy. The merchant liked the proposal, for the boy had all good qualities too. He then spoke to the boy's parents and fixed his daughter's marriage. The marriage was done with all the religious ceremonies and rituals. Unfortunately, the merchant forgot all about his promise to do Lord Satyanarayana ji's prayer and fast. The Lord got angry at the false promise made by the merchant. The merchant, after a few days, left for his business trip with his son-in-law. They anchored their boat in a beautiful village named Ratanpur. In those days, King Chandraketu used to rule the village. The Lord was angry with the merchant for the false promise made by him, and so he wanted to teach him a lesson. One day the thieves robbed the wealth of the king, and they went and stayed where the merchant was staying. Seeing the guards following them, they left all the loot over there where the merchant was staying and hid themselves. When the guards reached the merchant's place, they saw all the king's wealth. Thinking them to be the robbers, they handcuffed the merchant and his son-in-law and took them to the king and told him that they were responsible for the theft. The king, without questioning or listening to them, ordered to put them in a dark cell. Due to Lord Satyanarayana ji's Maya, nobody heard them. Even their wealth was confiscated by the king. At the merchant's house, the thieves robbed all their wealth, and his wife and daughter had to beg for their daily bread. One day, begging for food, Kalavati reached a Brahmin's house, where at that time Lord Satyanarayana ji's Puja was going on. After listening to the prayer and taking the prasad, she left for home. By that time, it had become dark. Leelavati was worried. She asked her daughter Kalavati, "Why are you so late?" To which Kalavati told her mother, "Oh mother, today in a Brahmin's house I heard a prayer. By doing this prayer and fast, all your wishes get fulfilled." On hearing this, Leelavati started doing all the preparations for the prayer of Lord Satyanarayana ji. She did the fast and prayer and asked the Lord for forgiveness and prayed that her husband and her son-in-law should return home safely. Lord Satyanarayana ji was pleased with the prayer and the fast. One day he told King Chandraketu in his dream, "O king, you must release the merchant and his son-in-law from the dark cell tomorrow morning. Give them their wealth and set them free. If you do not do so, your kingdom will be destroyed." In the morning, the king called the court people and told them about the dream. The court people, after hearing about the dream, came to the conclusion to free the merchant and his son-in-law. They asked the guards to bring the prisoners from the dark cell. King Chandraketu gave them good clothes, all their wealth, and plus some more, and set them free. The king told them that due to their wrongdoings, they had to undergo this suffering, but now there was nothing to fear, and they could go back home. They bowed down to the king and left homewards. This chapter of Lord Sathyanarayana ji is over.
ॐ स्कान्धपुराणे रेवाखाण्डे सत्यनारायण स्वामी कथायां तृतीयोऽध्यायः समाप्तः। श्रीमन्नारायण नारायण नारायण भगवन्नारायण जय बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। स्कंध पुराणे रेवाखाण्डे सत्यनारायण स्वामी कथायां चतुर्थोऽध्यायः प्रारम्भः।
Suji said, the merchant prayed first and then gave some wealth to the Brahmin before starting his journey homewards. When they went a little further, Lord Sathyanarayanji wanted to test them. He took the disguise of an old man and went up to the merchant and asked him, "What is in your boat? Give me a little from there." In his ego and pride, the merchant replied, "Oh, old man, we have nothing in our boat except hay and leaves." On hearing such harsh words of the merchant, the Lord said, "Your words will be true." So saying, he went from there and sat on the bank of the river. When the Lord went away, the boat started to rise higher in the water. The merchant was surprised at this. When he went to check in the boat, he saw that his boat was filled with leaves and hay only. Seeing this, he fainted. When he came to his senses, he was very much worried. He said, "How could this happen?" At this, his son-in-law told him, "Do not cry over this. All has happened because you spoke harshly to the old man and lied to him. Still, nothing is lost. You could go back to him and ask for forgiveness, and he will set everything right." The merchant, after hearing the words of his son-in-law, went in search of the old man. He bowed down before him and with respect said, "O Lord, please forgive me for the false, harsh words that I have spoken to you." So saying, he bowed down with tears of sorrow in his eyes. When the Lord saw the merchant in a state of sorrowness and crying for forgiveness, he said, "Do not cry. Listen to me, O foolish person. Due to your false promise, you have seen all this sorrow and suffering." On hearing the Lord say this, the merchant said, "O Lord, nobody can recognize your Maya, not even the gods or Brahmins know your ways and forms. I promise that I'll pray to you." So saying, he asked for forgiveness. He said, "Please forgive me and let my boat be filled with wealth once again, like before." On hearing the merchant's word filled with bhakti, the Lord was happy and he fulfilled his wish. When the merchant mounted his boat and saw it full with wealth again, he thanked the Lord and said, "With Lord Sathyanarayanji's grace, my wish is fulfilled. When I reach home, I will do his prayer and fast." So saying, he left homewards. When the merchant saw that his house town, Ratanpur, is nearing, he sent a messenger in advance to his house to inform his wife and daughter of his homecoming. The messenger, on reaching the merchant's house, bowed down to the merchant's wife and gave him the most awaited news that the merchant and his son-in-law have arrived Ratanpur. Leelavati had just finished doing her Satyanarayana Puja. She told her daughter to finish doing the prayer and then come and receive her husband and her father. Kalavati finished doing her quickly and without taking the prasad left to meet her husband. The Lord got angry at her behavior, so he drowned her husband with the boat. When Kalavati did not see her husband, she was shocked and she fainted on the floor. On seeing his daughter in this state of affairs and the sudden disappearance of the boat, the merchant was shocked. He prayed to Lord Sathyanarayana, asked him for forgiveness, and prayed to the Lord to take him out of this difficulty. The Lord then made an announcement: "O merchant, your daughter, in a hurry to meet her husband, has left my prasad, hence you cannot see her husband. Now, when she goes back and takes the prasad with due respect and then returns, only then she will see her husband." On hearing the voice, Kalavati ran home, ate the prasad, and came back and met her husband. When the merchant saw this, he was very happy. The merchant then did Lord Sathyanarayana's prayer and fast with his family every month. Finally, he had all the pleasures of life, and after that, he went to heaven. This chapter of Lord Sathyanarayana is over. All chant Lord Sathyanarayana ki
Jai.
Om Skandha Purane Reva Khande Sathyanarayana Swami Kathayam Chaturthodhyayah Sriman
Narayana, Narayana,
Narayana Bhajman
Narayana,
Narayana
Narayana,
बोलो सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय। स्कांद पुराणे रेवा खांडे सत्यनारायण स्वामी कथायां पंचमोऽध्यायः प्रारंभः।
Suji said, "O people, listen further to another story. A king named Tungadvaja was famous for his generosity to his subjects, but he had to suffer a lot due to the disrespect he had shown to the prayer of Lord Sathyanarayana and his prasad, which he did not accept when it was offered to him. One day, when hunting in a forest, he sat down under a tree. There he saw a few villagers doing the prayer of Lord Sathyanarayana. The king saw all this, but due to his false ego, neither did he join them nor bow down to the idol of the Lord. When the villagers gave him the prasad, he did not accept it and went away from there. When the king reached his kingdom, he saw that everything was destroyed and all his 100 sons were lying dead on the floor. The king realized that this had happened all due to his false ego. So thinking, he started walking towards the place where the villagers were doing their prayers. There with them, he did the prayers of Lord Sathyanarayana and had the prasad and the charanamrut, that is milk, sugar, curds, tulsi leaves and honey mixed together, and put it in all his sons' mouths. By doing this, all his sons became all right. He got back all his wealth and comforts of life, and finally, in the end, after he died, he went to heaven. Anybody who keeps this fast with full faith and receive the prayers of Lord Sathyanarayana, all his wishes will be fulfilled. With the grace of the Lord, he will get eternity. The wealthless will receive wealth and will go to heaven, and finally will come out of the circle of birth and death. The names of the persons who kept this fast and took rebirth are as follows. The Brahman took birth as Sudama, and in his entire life he served the Lord Krishna and attended moksha. King Ulkamuk took birth as King Dashrath, and in that life he became the father of Lord Rama and attained eternity. The merchant took birth as a King Morad, who cut his son in half and offered to the Lord and got moksha. King Tungadvaja took birth as Kevat, who took Lord Rama across the river, served him as and got moksha. In this way, whoever does Lord Satyanarayana's prayers will be free from all sorrows and will ultimately reach heaven and get moksha. This chapter of Lord Satyanarayana is over. All chant Lord Satyanarayana ki jai.
Om Skandha Purane Reva Khande Sathyanarayana Swami Kathayam Panchamoऽध्यायः समाप्तः। श्रीमन्नारायण
Lakshmi-Narayana, Narayana, Narayana,
Sathyanarayana, Narayana, Narayana. Om Mangalam Koshalendraj Mahaniya Gunatmane Chakravarti Tanujaya Sarvabhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Bolo Satyanarayana Bhagavan ki Jai. Everyone please come one by one and offer the akshata half to the kalash, remaining half to your head. Om Acharyaha Samhitayaha Punah Prananayam Yarheta Paurnamashyan Subhaditav Sri Renuka Devi Puja Chakarikhe Sri Renuka Devi Namaha Atma Sri Dheta Datta Datta Datteti Avahajami Padayo Padyam Tayo Adhim Ketikhajamanam Samarpayami. Om Snapajami Shananam Taram Siddhajamanam Samarpayami. Vatra Vidbhajam Uddhva Pundratham Yajno Pavijatham Pushpanjalim Samarpayami. Ajanete Parajane Durva Rohantu Pushpanihi Tadascha Pundarika Litamudrastagrahani Pushpaihi Sampujajami Parimala Upama Pudapajami Vanaspatim Parevilkir Nana Gandhir Sindhahan Akreyat Sarva Devanam Dhupojam Pradipusyatam Dhupamagrapajami Sakshat Pratyakshati Pundarshayami Dhupadipanaantaram Siddhachamanam Samarpayami Sambhavita Phalodakam Nivedayami. Om Sarvamangalamangalye Shive Sarvarthasadhike Sharanjit Sayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Mahadevi Chavidmahe Jamadagni Patne Cha Dhimahi Tanno Renuka Devi Prachodayat. Bolo Renuka Mata ki Jai. Om Prokshya Parikshya Poshanadana Surabhimudranavati Kritya Sri Sathyanarayana Swamini Namaha Sri Renuka Devi Namaha Mahanivedham Samarpayisvaha. ॐ तद्विष्णो परमं पदं तथा पश्यन्ति सूरयः गिरिरजत्सुराधतं तद्विप्रासो विपन्यभूषा दुरागुं तत्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदं गुरु सत्यनारायण भगवान् की जय। श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः। विशेष अर्चना पूजाञ्च करिष्ये। अस्य श्रीमान् गोत्रोद्भवस्य कौशल गोत्रोद्भवस्य ललिता कुमार नामधेयस्य केतन हांडा नाम्याः एंजला हांडा नामधेयस्य शिवम हांडा नामधेयस्य सनी रतन नाम्याः मोनिका रतन नामधेयस्य आर्यन रतन नामधेयस्य नियम रतन नामधेयस्य सह कुटुंबानां सत्यनारायण स्वामी अनुग्रहम्। अस्य श्रीमान् श्रीमतः पवडिपाल गोत्रोद्भवस्य रामकृष्ण नामधेयस्य जन्म नक्षत्र जातस्य आश्लेषा नक्षत्रे यशोधरा नाम्याः भरणी नक्षत्र जातस्य रम्या नाम्याः सह कुटुंबानां श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी अनुग्रहम्। अस्य श्रीमान् श्रीमतः रासनोल्लगोत्रस्य आश्लेषा नक्षत्र हरिकृष्ण नामधेयस्य पुष्यमी नक्षत्रे सृजना नाम्याः स्वाति नक्षत्रे प्रियांका नामधेयस्य उत्तराभाद्रा श्रेया नामधेयस्य सह कुटुंबानां सत्यनारायण स्वामी अनुग्रहम्। अस्य श्रीमान् गोत्रोद्भवस्य वशिष्ठ गोत्रोद्भवस्य हेमंत गोसायन नामधेयस्य आभा गोसायन नामधेयस्य अंबर नामधेयस्य अनंशा नाम्याः वेदांत नामधेयस्य रवि नामधेयस्य सह कुटुंबानां श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी अनुग्रहम्। अस्य श्रीमान् श्रीमतः मीनु नामधेयस्य राजन नामधेयस्य रुद्र नामधेयस्य शान नामधेयस्य भारद्वाज गोत्रस्य सह कुटुंबानां सत्यनारायण स्वामी अनुग्रहम्। अस्य श्रीमान् श्रीमतः शिवगोत्रोद्भवस्य नित्यानन्दं मनोराधा नक्षत्रो जातस्य अजय गोपाल मूल नक्षत्रो जातस्य श्रीधाश्री नक्षत्रो जातस्य निखिल रोहिणी नक्षत्रो जातस्य हरीश राजाराम कृत्तिके नक्षत्रो जातस्य सह कुटुंबानां श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामिनः परिपूर्ण कृपा कटाक्षानुग्रह प्रसाद फल सिद्ध्यर्थं विशेषार्चन पूजाञ्च करिष्ये। ओम श्रीमते नमः। ओम केशवाय नमः। ओम नारायणाय नमः। ओम माधवाय नमः। ओम गोविन्दाय नमः। ओम विष्णवे नमः। ओम मधुसूदनाय नमः। ओम त्रिविक्रमाय नमः। ओम वामनाय नमः। ओम श्रीधराय नमः। ओम ऋषिकेशाय नमः। ओम पद्मनाभाय नमः। ओम दामोदराय नमः। ओम वासुदेवाय नमः। ओम संकर्षणाय नमः। ओम प्रद्युम्नाय नमः। ओम अनिरुद्धाय नमः। ओम पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ओम मधोक्षजाय नमः। ओम नारसिंहाय नमः। ओम बलरामाय नमः। ओम श्रीरामाय नमः। ओम श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। ओम शेषाद्रि नीलजाय नमः। ओम वृषदृग्गोचराय नमः। ओम विष्णवे नमः। ओम सदं चन गिरीशाय नमः। ओम वृषाद्रिपदये नमः। ओम मेरुपुत्र गिरीशाय नमः। ओम सरस्वामी तटीजुषे नमः। ओम श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी दिव्य परब्रह्मणे नमो नमः। नानाविध परिमल पत्र पुष्पाक्षत पूजार्चनानि समर्पयामि। ओम राजाधिराजाय प्रसन्नताहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे। समेता जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के अवगुण बंसरी वाला दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख बिन से मन का, स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का। सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख आनंद घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण गढ़ूं मैं किसकी, स्वामी शरण पढ़ूं मैं किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा, आस करूं मैं जिसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। पूर्ण परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी, स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म जगदीश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक अगोचर, सबके प्राणपति, स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। किस विध मिलो दया में, किस विध मिलो दया में, तुमको मैं सुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, ठाकुर तुम मेरे, स्वामी रक्षक तुम मेरे। अपने हाथ उठाओ, अपनी शरण लगाओ, द्वार पर मैं तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी कष्ट हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। धन मन धन सब है तेरा, स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको समर्पण, क्या लागे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम पार ब्रह्म जी की आरती जो कोई नर गावे, स्वामी प्रेम सहित गावे। कहत शिवानंद स्वामी, कहत हरि हर स्वामी, मनवांछित फल पावे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, दास जनों के अवगुण जीवन दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। नमामि नारायण पादपङ्कजं, करोमि नारायण पूजनं सदा। वदामि नारायण नाम निर्मलं, स्मरामि नारायण तत्त्वमव्ययम्। सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवं विश्वं नारायणं देवमक्षरं परमं प्रभुं विश्वतः परमं नित्यं विश्वं नारायणगुं हरिं विश्वमेवेदं पुरुषस्तद्विश्वमुपजीवति पतिं विश्वस्यात्मेश्वरगुं शाश्वतगुं शिवमच्युतं नारायणं महाज्ञेयं विश्वात्मानं परायणं नारायणपरं ब्रह्मतत्त्वं नारायणः परः नारायणपरो ज्योतिरात्मा नारायणः परः यश्च किञ्चित् जगद्यस्मिन् दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा अन्तर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः अनन्तमव्ययं कविगुं समुद्रेऽन्तं विश्वशम्भुवं पद्मकोशप्रतीकाशगुं हृदयं चाप्यतोमुखम् अथो निष्ट्यावितश्यान्तु नाभ्यामुपरि तिष्ठति हृदयं तद्विजानीयाद्विश्वस्यायतनं महत् सन्ततगुं शिलाभिस्तुलं भत्या कोशसन्निभम् तस्यान्ते शुशिरगुं सूक्ष्मं तस्मिन् सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं तस्य मध्ये महानग्निर्विश्वार्चिर्विश्वतोमुखः सोऽग्रभुग्विभजन्दिष्टन्नाहारमजरः कविः तस्य मध्ये वह्निसिका अनीयोर्ध्वा व्यवस्थितः नीलतो यतमध्यस्था विद्युल्लेकेव भास्वरा नीवारसूकपत्तन्वी पीताभास्या तनूपमा तस्या शिखाया मध्ये परमा आत्मा व्यवस्थितः स ब्रह्मः स शिवः स हरिः सेन्द्रः सोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् ऋतगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् श्रीरमादेवी सहित वीरवेङ्कटसत्यनारायण स्वामिने नमः दिव्यकमलपादारविन्दयोः वेदोक्तस्वर्णमन्त्रपुष्पं समर्पयामि. Everyone offer the flower to the God. After offering 3 pradakshanam and namaskar. Om yani kani janmantarkృతాని చ తాని తాని పునశ్చంతి ప్రదక్షిణం పదే పదే పాపోహం పాపకర్మాణం పాపశం మమ రాహిమాం కృపయా దేవ శరణాగతవత్సల అన్యథా శరణం నాస్తి త్వమేవ శరణం మమ తస్మాత్ కారుణ్యభావేన రక్ష రక్షో జనార్దన రక్ష రక్షో మహేశ్వర రక్ష రక్షో శ్రీ సత్యదేవా. बोलो श्री सत्यनारायण भगवान की जय. श्रीयावर रामचंद्र की जय. उमापति महादेव की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. दुर्गा माता की जय. श्रीमद् रमण गोविंद गोविंद. हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव. Please come by family and take prasad. And Ningada Pesanam. Thank you for sponsoring today's puja, Lalita ji. And you made food also. So we have after that simple prasad is there.